All right, so we are back with part 3 in our recap video. We are in James chapter 3 today, and let's see who we got for our recap video. All right. Once again in the building, we have Jasmine Cassell. All right, we got Drill Sergeant Staff Sergeant Cole here, Mikaela Staff Sergeant Falu, and then we got a new guy. All right, Staff Sergeant Hogue is with us on today. All right, so what did we talk about today, and what did y'all get out of Bible study today?
So we talked about James 3 and kind of dove into the last part of it when we were talking about the works.
Okay.
And then we did a partial deep dive into chapter 4 where we were talking about the strivings within the Jewish community, how they were going against each other instead of fighting who their true enemies were.
Very good, very good. So in the beginning, we talked about 2 different types of friendships. All right, the friendship that comes from, what were the 2 types of friendship? Anybody remember? Friendship of the world, or a friendship with God. And he said if we have friendship with the world, that would be considered what? With God.
An enemy.
Being an enemy of God. Very good. And before that, in the end of chapter 3, we talked about 2 different types of what? Wisdom. Sarah Hogue, tell me a little bit about that. 2 different types of wisdom.
2 types of wisdom is worldly wisdom and godly wisdom. Worldly wisdom is thinking of yourself before anyone else, having like a selfish ambition.
Yeah.
And then worldly knowledge or wisdom is thinking of others before yourself, dying to yourself,
Ooh.
and then going forward and trying your best to think of yourself less and think of others more.
Hey, I like that. So we said that in class today, that humility is not thinking less of yourself, but thinking of yourself.
Less.
Hey, very good. All right, good, Drill Sergeant. All right. So what else stuck out to you in Bible study today?
So for me, what stuck out to me was how in James we chapter spoke on how like both in the church, right? So of course the Romans were it was him talking to the church and about was the persecution with the Romans. However, because of all their selfish ambition and things like that, they started fighting with each other. So James was like, get it together, let's rewind, pause, and bring this back. So this is how we're going to do this, right? And then he just started going in about, like you said, about the adulterous person and how it's, you got the wisdom, how do you, are you going to use the Lord's, are we going to do it the Lord's way? Are we going to do it the world's way?
Yeah.
And it's saying the adulterous relationship, trying to have a relationship with the world and trying to have a relationship with God at the same time. Yeah.
At the end, we talked about how the Bible Project calls Christianity the upside down kingdom, and how God always asks us in godly wisdom to do things the opposite of the way the world would do. We'll close out. Y'all give me some examples of things that God asks us to do that are very contrary to the way that the world would say to do things in order to determine success. Anybody?
I would say, we didn't talk about this in class today, but I would say turning the other cheek if somebody was to offend you or strike you. You just got to give them grace and just know that it wasn't them talking, but that spirit was talking.
I love it.
It's somewhere in the New Testament, Jesus says they're not supposed to forgive 7 times.
Yeah.
But
They're supposed to
77
or 70
times
7. Yeah.
70 times.
Yeah.
And that's so hard for people of this
Yeah.
world to just like continue like asking for forgiveness or turning the other cheek, because we're taught to like cut that cord or burn the bridge kind of thing.
And I think with that, with the turning the other cheek thing, like we live in a society now, and it goes back to that where everybody is crucified for the smallest thing. You don't know nothing about what they got going on, but you were quick to point that finger, and then you're quick to talk about them. So
Good stuff. In the end, and Jasmine, I kind of singled you out with this and talked about how God is jealous for us. And everything like that, and because he loves us so much and everything. What did I say about you and your husband and how you remember?
I mean, he said that he loves the way we, I guess, love each other and how we interact with each other, and I guess just how honest it is. And I mean, we keep God in our life, so like that also.
So what he said was that she will fight for her man.
Yeah. Jasmine will put the paws on you.
Do not play, but she does not play.
Don't play about her husband, y'all. All right, good stuff, y'all. We'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.
Bye.
All right.